How are you so surprised? This is what you like.
The day has finally come. We are less than 24 hours away from the release of What You Like on all streaming platforms. And tonight is a special night because joining me on the show today is Robin Fussy and another guest. Have you been on the socials? The other guest is from our social media. And we did talk about Napo Mashiane Popo is going to be joining us this evening on the show. Our season finale for What You Like. And as you know, What You Like is a 6-part series explaining my songwriting process. What are the things that I'm thinking about when I'm writing songs? And this series was looking at my satirical work. So, what am I thinking about and how am I choosing my lyrics? So, if you haven't watched the series already, I would like you to go and watch the rest of the series. Go to the description. All the episodes are there. Look, the song What You Like, it gives you a sense that it might be a sexual innuendo. But really, it's just that we took the innuendo of it. And it's a song about democracy, about freedom, and about the state of the nation at the moment. And so in our first episode, we unpacked what led us to have the Madlanga Commission. And we also looked at the different characters in the Madlanga Commission, in the parliamentary inquiry, in the judicial inquiry, the Chauke, that one. So we've been watching these 3 things happen, and I felt that they captured very well, and the stories we're hearing out of the commission really told the story of democracy, the story of freedom as we experience it, as we live it, as we see it. And a couple of the other episodes looked at why is it that we allowed for ourselves to get to where we are today? What was happening in society? How were we conditioned? And how did that lead to us being here? And I look at the global outlook as well a little bit, bringing into consideration what's happening in America, and really asking the question, does our constitution serve us? What kind of country do we want? What kind of policies do we want to follow? Because I am of the view capitalism cannot ever work. Any system where you're encouraged not to share can never work. It can never work. So from my own perspective, I'm really wanting to explore different ideas around how our democracy could look. What could our democracy look like as South Africa? And of course, I love telling jokes. I love having fun. And we went in one of the episodes, word by word. We listened to the song and got into all of the lyrics. And, I explained to you why I said, kick back, Nyana. Because that's what's happening with the corruptions. Tatama, kick back. Even Sibia right now, Sibia is struggling. The commission right now in the year 2026 is just a little bit crazy in the sense that people are running away, and Kunu and Sibia are sticking to their story of incompetence, because they're just saying they're basically what they are using as their reasons for dismantling the PKTT, and the way that they're standing by what they're saying is that they're saying, yes, I'm incompetent. Okay, so that's where we're at with the commission. And it's gotten dangerous on these commission streets. It's gotten very dangerous on the commission streets. I reflected on what happened last year up until December. This year, people have been, hey, people are moving targets out here. So we didn't reflect much on what's happened this year. And I'm so happy that I get to put out this music that says everything without putting our lives in danger. So the version of the song, mastered, mixed by PH Raw X, mastered by Peter Pilson, it's dropping. That's the version that you get. I'm not going to play it in full, of course, because it's coming out tomorrow. But I do want to introduce my guest, Robin Fassi, who is featured on What You Like. And so you're going to get a chance to hear it as it is now. Enjoy.
Choose my catella, door to door by Agnenga. Is it what you like? Oh, my bona kutus of Jella, Zono Zabus of Fela. Is it what you want? How are you so surprised? This is what you like. How do you call foul? This is what you like. Wanna be a millionaire, jet setting everywhere. Turn a blind eye, take a little kickback, nah. You can fly to Dubai, minister will justify. Go on a shopping spree with tax money. Amehlo ayabona, izisuzi yakhala, izandla zisongiwe, engathi siqhathiwe. How are you so surprised? This is what you like. How do you call foul? This is what you like.
Welcome, Robin. Thank you so much for joining us. I love your horn section so much.
Thanks for having me, Nomi. Pleasure to be
I
here.
love it so much. It's just, I always tell people that it's just, to me, it sounds exactly like, what it feels like to be a South African watching all of these things happening in the news, and just watching what's happening, in the public discourse. And I feel like you captured that amazingly. So,
I'm glad. That's
I want to know. I want to know more about Robin Fassi. Who is Robin Fassi?
yo. So Robin Fassi. Robin Fassi is a man now who's grown up in Cape Town, in a colored community called Stevens Lavendale. Comes from a mixed family. My mom is colored, my dad is Xhosa. So I grew up also very much in between these two worlds. Musically, I was inspired by my mom's family mostly, strangely enough, because we used to go to a lot of choirs, gospel choirs with her. She used to take me all over, and I think that kind of sparked an interest in music for me. And then later on, in Cape Town, we have this very well-renowned uh, festival or carnival called Klopse, where we have the marching bands, which is also in remembrance of the only day that the slaves in Cape Town would get off, which is on the 2nd of January. So I grew up in this culture where it was very rich in heritage and remembering and just relearning our paths and where we come from. So I grew up with a lot of that background, playing in the marching bands, and then later on getting exposed to the local jazz musicians such as Robbie Jansen, Ezra Nukana, and George Warner. These were some of my early mentors who've kind of helped me get interested into jazz, I would say. And then from there on, I just fell in love with jazz. I would say, going on to study at UCT for about 4 years, finishing my degree over there, and then getting a scholarship to study in Norway, and then performing with Nduduzo Makatini as well, who's my mentor now, Dr. Nduduzo Makatini, who's been mentoring me for the longest time. And then I think just being under his wing has afforded me so many opportunities and possibilities to expand my wings in the musical world and just to tell my own story as well. Yeah, that's a bit of a brief intro. I'm an educator as well. I like to consider myself as a sonic architect, building tapestries, building sounds of music, emotions, feelings. I do believe that every creative or artist has to contribute to society, just as a doctor and as a dentist had to. We have the same role, whether it's healing or bringing joy or bringing sadness or remembering. So I'm really passionate about art. I would say, yeah, but that's kind of myself in a nutshell. I'm a very quiet guy, but I get out of my shell when I feel comfortable and open enough to speak about things that matter. Yeah. So that's me pretty much
So
in a
before we
nutshell.
worked together, I really I didn't know you and your talent. And
Yes.
I know you performing with my sister. You play with Tati
Mm.
Somazwai. Can you
Because
share
yeah,
like who else do you play with?
man. So over the years, it's been Tani Samazwai, Brahebit Swahili, Nduzo Makatini, Bogani Dyer, Shane Cooper. I also played with Jimmy Lulu quite often back in the day, quite funny enough. Lira, Msaki as well. I play a lot with Msaki. And then also do house music like Black Coffee, Julian Gomez, I Am Zion, or Zion. So Zion is actually part of Liquid Deep. Yes, he's one of my mentors as well. So I'm very much well diverse in many genres, I would say. But I've been very lucky to perform and collaborate and just become friends with such great legends or legends of our time in the music industry in South Africa. So yeah, very, very, very grateful and happy about that.
I love that. Now, so we meet in studio, and you are coming to put some horns. How is it? How is it? Is this the first time recording a song with my sister? Because I know you've played with her, but is it the first time recording a song or
Mm.
not?
It was definitely the first time. We have never been in studio together, at least not in a recording space. It was more of rehearsal space and that type of thing, but never a recording. So this process was very, very new, but also very familiar in a sense, because she's one of my mentors as well. So just taking her lead and trusting her instinct, and also not being afraid to raise my own opinions or to have my own input as well. So it was definitely my first time, also my first time seeing her in that light, which was really cool.
Now, for those of
Yeah.
you who don't know, my sister is executive producing my album, and
Mm.
I've never worked with her before. So me and Robin were having this shared experience, right? And I just want to know, did you find my sister as bossy as I found her?
Man, that's King Taj. Whether she's bossy or not, I'm gonna accept anything she tells me, because that's my king. But I don't necessarily think she's bossy. Like for people outside who don't know, it might come across as that. But she has a very strong personality. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's hearing, so she tries her best to get that. But bossy, no, just king like energy, I would say.
King like energy. I love it. It's been one of the most wonderful experiences. And I love what you say, because even with me, it's just when I get into studio, I just follow her lead. I mean, I've done it
Yeah,
on my own for so long. And what's the
yeah,
point of still wanting to do it on my own?
yes.
You
Things
know?
are as you know.
Now,
Yeah.
tell me, when was the moment that you realized what the song was about? Like, after how many listens were you like, oh,
I think it was a line. They say something about going to Dubai, going on a shopping spree, and all these things. And then I think that kind of clicked. I think I even asked you about it. I was like, "Ooh, we're going to Dubai," um, but also just the deeper message, I guess, which you were giving me a bit of background about, and I think I used that to kind of also encapsulate a sound and not necessarily only rely on the music, because a lot of the time as a musician, which I'm an instrumentalist by first choice, you often go off of the mood of a song, and then not necessarily really knowing what the message is. And I feel like with context, with script, you're able to tap into another source, another wall of energy musically, even, so that you can be like, okay, this is what the message is, the story is saying. How do I try to emote that sound and try to get people to kind of um you know come up with their own ideas or conclusions as to what the music is trying to tell them, so I really always appreciate text. It helps me to tap into a different side of the music. Yeah, more meaningful and more spiritual. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you, because I feel like, and I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I do think that we have a way as human beings of developing ideas about what something should be like. And so, for instance, one would have an idea of what a trumpet should sound like and what a trumpet should do. And I think what I really enjoyed about the way you came on the track was, it's not um it's exactly the feeling. So when you
Mm,
said it, when you were talking about like your walk there, right? I
yes.
was thinking about, for me, it's like it's just the feeling,
Yes,
you
definitely.
know, which is I love that. I think that was amazing. Okay, so I know that you're playing a lot of amazing gigs that are coming up.
Yes.
You're playing Sankofa Fest,
Yeah, bro. Big ones. Cape Town Jazz Fest as well.
right?
That's coming up soon. Really excited about that. I'm playing with Duduza Makatini at the Cape Town Jazz Fest. And then I'm also being doing like a collab feature with Ravina. She's from the US. She's like a indie pop singer as well. And then Sankofa, obviously, with the king, my king. And I might also do make a guest appearance with Msaki as well on one or two songs. So the next few weeks is going to be really big, and we are really blessed in South Africa to have such great musical acts, And then we have the single that's dropping tomorrow, "What You Like." So
Yes,
it's a lot
yes.
of music in store, man. It's a lot of music. It's a lot of music coming out this year, and I'm really excited about that. And also, congrats to you on such beautiful work. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. It's been such a pleasure. Because this single is the last single before I drop my album, and my album is called Surrender. And the whole making of this
Ooh,
album has been
I like that.
a surrender. It really has. The whole making, the process, the even like the
Wow.
minuscule details, um,
Yes.
has been really just in a state of surrender. So tomorrow our single does drop, and I
I'd
am
like to hear
excited.
more about that, the surrender part of it, because it's a word that's been popping up a lot lately with my mentors and just this research that I'm doing of going into flow state, just being able to surrender and just allow whatever it is that needs to take over and just immerse yourself within. So it's a continuous study for me as well. So I'm really interested to hearing your approach and your concepts on surrender. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, and you're right. I like the way you said entering a flow state. Because
Yes.
it really is. And I so basically about almost 18 months ago, I I went into rehab. My
Okay.
life was in a shambles. It was in a mess. It was a nightmare. And I mean, many of us go through life changes where life shows us absolute flames.
Yeah.
And some of us have developed very unhealthy coping mechanisms. And so I was in rehab, and on the 20th day of being in rehab, I was in a rehab for 30 days. On the 20th day of the rehab, I decided to surrender. And
Mm,
for the next 17 months after that, it's been so, it's been one of those experiences that are very hard to describe, because being in a flow state is very, it's always a positive outcome. When you're in a flow state, the outcomes are always positive. When I surrender, and I really surrender, the outcomes are
mhm.
always great. But it's
Yes.
that. But why is it so hard to surrender when I know it's
Yeah.
going to work out for me?
I think it's hard to let go of the things that we've become used to. So therefore being able to surrender is not always an easy thing. But on the other side, it's like we give birth, or we reignite that dormant energy, positivity that's stored within us. So the moment we just let loose, all of that kind of now like springs into us, it blooms. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it is a difficult thing to actually tap into. Yeah.
but
I'm
but
also on that journey.
yeah, I think I think there's
Yeah.
something that happens. I think it's called growing up.
Yo,
I said
that
I said on
one.
my Twitter,
Yeah.
I said on my Twitter yesterday. I said um, all of us get older, but not all of us grow up.
Sure.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
That's
And
that's fact.
so um, to be in a state of surrender, it's you really put your all your faith in the care of God. And
Yeah.
um
So
it's
revealing. Yeah.
yes, and you can't hold on to anything. Um
Mm.
and that's and it's so weird. If you listen to my language, I say I can't hold on to anything, But right now, what do I have worth holding on to, right? It's like, why
Yes.
am I fighting this thing? And
True.
that's not in a negative sense, but it's just in a real sense. South Africa has just
Yes.
taken a turn.
Yes. Surrendering.
So,
Has
so
to
that this
heal.
is so this is the story of the album Surrender, and the album is going to be performed for the first time at the Soweto Theatre on the 26th of April. And between
Wow.
now and the 26th of April, we are enjoying all of the singles that have come out next week, Tuesday, Jalo Jalo, as well
Ooh,
as the no. So I'm gonna play a little
okay.
bit more of the song just so you our beautiful people online, and remember that you can send a comment and send a message. Oh, there is. Oh, there we go. um, we do see you. Thank
How
you
do
so much for
do
joining in the comments. Um, let me just get. I just want us to continue playing the song a little bit.
This is what you like. 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 This is what you like.
Fire, party most time. Fire. I love it so
Wow, it
much.
sounds so amazing. Woo!
It's so
The
dope.
mix, the blends of the horns and the voice, everything is just
I love it so much.
oh,
Um, Now I want to talk about that thing you do with the horn. The that I feel like totally captured
that's
my
rage.
emotions,
Yeah, that's
my
rage.
emotions before I surrendered. I feel like
Yes.
that it captures it. Like when I listen to them,
That
I
struggle.
think back.
Like
Yeah, I love that. Now you actually, when I listen to the kinds of artists that you've worked with, you've mentioned a lot of artists that always have something to say in their music. Definitely. I feel like Msaki is always saying something really special. Of course, I have nepotism.
yes.
My sister, I think she always has something really special to say, and in a
Who's
genuine way. Um, and so listening to the artists that you've worked with, I'm hearing a lot of conscious music. Is that by choice? Is that because even when I listen to you speaking about your heritage and that history, I don't think people really um, you know ever take moments to deep dive into other people's cultures, right? Especially South
yeah.
African, we'd much rather learn about French culture than learn about South African culture, right?
Wow.
And
Yes.
so, I hear that, and I think for me, one question that I always get asked that I can never answer is what is the role of music in protest?
Ooh, man. So even before there was protest, there was music. Music was a way or a means of channeling a highest power, or it was always for a higher cause. It was either to celebrate life or death or to commemorate a moment. But in the center of it all, music always brought people together. So I feel like music in protest, it goes hand in hand. It's actually really important because first of all, music creates an awareness and it unites people. Song, whether it's a struggle song, whether it's a song about maybe we've overcome something, but I feel like music is always in the center as a way of expression and as a tool of also enlightenment for those who we are trying to protest to, so music in protest goes hand in hand. It's a voice for the unheard, I would say. People might not have access to or be able to challenge something, but through music and the power of unity, I feel like it's really important for protest. And it goes hand in hand. Protest is important for music as well because music is a way where we can tell our stories and share our frustrations, through the music. So they really do go hand in hand, I believe. Yes.
I love I'm with you because for me I feel like music is actually for me I believe music is the most powerful of weapons, right? I feel like music, it's a vibration, and I the more that I live in a state of surrender, in a state of ease, the more I realize how it's the really it's the things like music, great music, and the coming together of people around music. I feel like it creates a vibration that brings about a balancing out of all that is not well with the world. Like that's what I
Yes.
feel. And as I'm saying that, I want to bring Popo into the stage. And Popo Anapo Mashiane is a poet. She is an incredible
Wow.
writer. Welcome, welcome, Popo.
Hi, Jumela, 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 Jumela.
Jumela, I was so guy.
I'm alive. Hi, Robin.
Hey, how are you?
I'm alive. I'm alive. Hi, Nomi
Good,
Superstar.
good, good to see
Hi. So Robin was very honest with me. He told me that I'm not watching these commissions and everything.
Popo, we've actually worked together. I think it might have been at some sports and cultural awards for the SABC some years ago. I
We
think I
did.
remember you.
I think when Bluefin was the director and the script writer. Ish, was there
Yes,
around.
with Bloom. Yes, yes, yes.
And it's
Hey,
crazy because I'm in Bloemfontein,
wow.
Nomi, hey? It's crazy. At Peckoffs,
Yeah.
we ended up running at some point. Hey, but Nomi knows the story. Anyhow, yes, you were saying, Nomi.
I am so happy to know that you have met along the paths of life before, and it's always great because I feel like we are walking now. We are walking in a new phase of our lives, and the more that I surrender, I was talking to Robin about the state of surrender. The more I'm in surrender, the more I'm realizing that my path is recrossing with the people that I've missed, you know? So it's always good to meet up again with somebody that you know. It's a good
Yeah.
sign.
It's a good sign. It's a good sign. And since I mean we reconnected last year, and it's just been so beautiful because then now we constantly are in each other's spaces, Nomi. So it's good, and I'm so happy to see Robin. It's been a while. It's been a while, but we're here. There's something good about that. Old, when old connections come into space against the
Absolutely.
politics
Yes.
and the South African landscape.
What you like?
So
Definitely.
so so just to give you a sense, Robin, about Napo. Napo did this poem. Yo, this poem
Oh,
was it was as if my ancestors were whispering to me. And her poem has a line in it that says, "Your dreams are dreaming about you too."
yeah.
Wow.
And I really, really, that is, for many young South Africans, and I still like to call myself young, for
Mm,
many young South Africans, um, we've got dreams.
we do.
We've got dreams. We've got big, big, big dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said your dreams are dreaming about you too, it put it all into perspective for me that I must dream with purpose and expectation. Oh man, beautiful line. Lay and sharper, man.
I know.
Wabona words. Words. Unqedile. Well, you just do words.
Uh,
I don't need a wig. I don't need a weave. I don't need khoza.
nope.
I just need
That's what.
nice words.
Hmm. And
Wow.
poetry with music, there's just like it's actually there isn't even a line, because even the reason why we resonate to certain type of music is when the words hit home. It's, and then the rhythm and the beat and just that African blueprint
Yes.
and DNA. But just the words that are being said, it's something that even if you can't, like myself, now I'm vocally wounded, so I'm not like Numi. I'm not like you guys. I'm vocally wounded, but the words. Now I get it all. I get all. I'm like, I will speak the words. I will not sing them. So when I hear words and rhythm and a beat and everything, but just the words is something that I carry with me as a wordsmith, and they echo and they stay with one. So I'm so glad that Nomi part of my words really resonated. And I think it was the right time, even for me and you, to reconnect. And there was so much to share that we've experienced as Black women in institutions of leadership. And I think I needed that. I needed to hear that from a like of me, somebody who's I like me. And it's just like, yeah, man, I'm not crazy.
Tell me, I want you to tell me something. How did you feel watching the commission? Because Robin has been doing music and loving his music, but Robin, also feel free to chime in when it's common. We're talking
Yes.
common things. But how did you feel watching the commission? And you have, because watching the commission, we are now being exposed, and yeah, we are being exposed to people's levels of incompetence. Never
Yeah.
mind the criminality, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, we're watching incompetence because both Senzo Mkunu and Sibia, their cover is that I just did my job badly.
Exactly.
Mm.
And then, I mean, firstly, I've been watching it because I think it's very important for somebody like myself in theater space and as a writer as well of, poetry, who's like an conscious aunt or just a playwright or a screenwriter. It's very important to understand the current times, because that's what helps us
Mm.
to develop characters and to understand the world we live in. And the things that, Nomi, you and I have also worked in institutions that portrays what we see. And so there's a level of validation in sense of, oh, flip. When you see your, that when what Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi did, it was just like, oh my God, that's me. I would do that. And it's funny because I was talking to a colleague of mine even today, because we are in another situation that says a lot, that triggers a lot. And we said, I was even saying to one of my colleagues and my partner last night, Tori, people would not understand that Mkhwanazi woke up one day and was just doing his job. And I remember what you had said to me, started asking questions. What he didn't realize is that those
Mm.
questions were so right that they triggered a nerve of something. It's almost like a bubble, right? When something is bubbling underneath, and then you just like, man, this surface is not even, and we just pay people to come do like pavement. So something is wobbly, something is not okay. Guys, who did this? Didn't everybody check? When I get like, didn't anybody check? Eh, guys, because we are vocal people, right? Firstly, Robin, we are black women, so we loud. The likes of me and
Yes.
Nomi and our other community and sisters, we loud. So it's like, so we don't ask in hush hush. We're not gonna be like, Robin, who did it? It's like, hey man, it's uneven. And it's the first day, second day. Look at this one, it's not properly set, set. Guys, who are the people who did this? And then you see the constructors and you're like, guys, why let us so? And then you call people out, but also in a such innocent way, but also you're just asking
Inappropriate.
for
Yes.
accountability, right? To say, no, man, I know we pop out money. I know somebody we invested. I know I signed something. Why this is not done right? And then you keep asking that to a point where you're like, okay, who's your boss? Mind you, you don't understand that that boss is working with some of the people that are your day-to-day people. And then
Yes.
you start seeing people acting strange around you.
Mm.
And then it's like, no, but why are you running away? Why are you playing hide and seek? What's going on? Again, you're asking, hey, man, you don't have to hide yourself. You don't. So I bet Ntantam Konazi was doing that, Nomi, and the way in which people responded because they were hiding things just made him to focus more on unearthing and digging up things that he never intended to dig. And look where we are. And then the next thing, he was trying to be muted and silenced. And we know when people who are ethical, who are principled, who are forefront, who are straightforward, when somebody's muting you to tell you to shut up, you're like, nah. I know you can't. And then, Nomi, then you get people like Mpriza who then you realize people have fake qualifications, guys, allegedly, so that we are not
Yeah.
sued. People have
Yes.
fake. And then you look at people who have been in leadership roles, Robin, and I know as artists we like minding our own business and all, but then you realize that people are sitting in positions of decision making who don't
That's
qualify to be there, who are not even serving the purpose that they were appointed for. And that's what's crazy.
Never mind even qualified. Ne? People who are not only lacking qualification, that's one thing, but they're also lacking self-esteem, and they have not been able to mature past their post-colonial, the how apartheid affected them. Because how can our judiciary and our police be turned upside down because two white people wrote emails?
Exactly. And the white people who
Mhm.
also claimed they were qualified and they were calling
And they
themselves
were
doctors,
not.
professors. And you were thinking, okay, that's white privilege, right? That white people are never asked until now, like ad hoc and Madanga Commission are exposing people who, oh, this person has been saying in their CV they are professors, they are uh, uh, Captain Mamman, Commissioner Mamman, but actually these people, but also people saying they were spies and that they are politically affiliated so much. Bob Brown Mukhosi, that they are so connected that they are untouchable. And the person is there when they are being cross-questioned and saying, actually, no, I didn't even finish matric. And then you're thinking, yo, Kanako, I'm sitting home, I'm an artist. I was pushed out of a
Mm.
position of leadership that I qualified for, that I had the expertise for, that I loved, and the work of service that I was there to do. I was literally pushed out by the likes of those. And it hurts because it's like, yo, actually, it's FS. I don't know here if we can say fact straight, but it's FS. I call it SS. I'm like, wow,
Mm.
the system
It
has
is, it is
failed.
it is a very wow moment, and this is why, because me and Napo have a similar background experience, and we are not the only ones. And Robin, I think you should know that there's a lot of competent people in the public sector who are being pushed out because they don't want to steal.
Yep. And that's the whole thing.
Um,
A purse. You don't want to and you don't even know you're holding the purse. Now they were calling it a purse. People who don't like me or dislike me and they're pushing me out because I'm holding the purse.
mm, mm.
So they can't eat.
So, Napo, tell me now, because you're a poet, uh, and you know how it is to play with words. How important is the art sector right now? Because let me tell you, I always say that the art industry is never taken seriously. If your ministry is a bargaining chip, you can forget about anybody being appointed who is worth their salt, who knows what they're doing. And the Department of Arts and Culture is a bargaining chip. When they're busy doing their GNUs, their shared, we'll put you there, we'll make your guy minister. Arts and culture, it's always falling there in the fray. It's there in the dust. And I feel that because our ministry has never been taken very seriously, we've forgotten that we are human beings, that we are emotional beings, and that half of the food that we eat is edible. The other food that we eat with our eyes, we eat with our ears, we eat with there's so much more. And I feel that South Africa is where it is because we've been artistically and intellectually starved. Because there's been no coherent approach to art and culture in the public sector. Because you do need arts and culture for human beings to be normal. And I want to be on my cross. Yes, we assign responsibility where it's due, but as Black people, I think we also need to face the fact that there was no Black consciousness. BE is not Black consciousness, guys. Having as much money as the oppressor is not Black consciousness.
Not at
consciousness
all.
is enabling a society where everybody has, because there is enough. There's more than enough. And so for me, I ask myself, is there any hope for South Africa? Because if we don't eat our spiritual, emotional, intellectual food, we're dead. You're just a husk. You're a husk carrying a Louis Vuitton bag, getting into a Lamborghini, because you are starved of that thing that gives you a sense of worth that you get from creativity. So, when I wrote the song, it was about really asking the question, is this what you like? I holla, Baman.
When I heard it, I was like, yo. I was like, hey, Robin, I was like, yo. But I was just like, yo, it's Nomis brave, yo.
She's saying a lot.
Like, but that's right. So we've listening to it with my kids. I was like, somebody had to get the words out there, and all of us are just going like, you. And again, what is this?
No, but then I also guess, like, it's not just about what kind of gets uncovered, but I guess also about what happens after we find out about all these things, like, do the recommendations actually get implemented? Like, what are we doing to see that change, rather than almost making so much noise, or let's like trying to take action, I guess. Like, do we see the real change, or does the conversation then just, I don't know, blow over after the headlines,
Are people
kind
being
of
held
dies?
accountable? Are people
People
being held
yes,
accountable?
basically,
Because remember,
yes.
guys, we were much more younger. There was that Zondo Commission, right? I know that people were moved from positions, which I think was risk mitigation of saying, oh, this is a shame and embarrassment. We have had TRC, Truth and Reconciliation. So these commissions have always been coming in different form and formats. But I suppose, Robin, you're right to say, and then what? You know what I mean? And I think with
To
this
ask,
current
yes.
one, there, totally. And then what? And I'm I'm wondering, Holly, isn't it because now social media is so part of the narrative and spreading and calling things
Mhm.
out and holding people accountability and making noise? So it's almost like a digital
Yes,
protest of some sort. Like, you cannot
yes,
not ignore.
yes.
Gabo Zondo, Gabo, like I know I got blacklisted for adapting Ridi Klabi's book, Kwezi say Kwezi,
Wow.
Nontsukelo, Fezile Nontsukelo Kuzwayo. And that was the first awakening when I was blacklisted for 2 years. And nobody came to say you are blacklisted, but Nomi, you know it, you feel it, you see it, you're not being booked, you're not being
Yes,
selected,
yes, yes.
but also everything that had been planned and said gets cancelled. And so you are no longer the face and the ambassador of the country because you went and spoke against the president, which was one of the biggest sexual assault case or rape cases that as young feminists we were exposed to it and we understood what that meant to
Mhm.
stand in solidarity, but also how loud and just a juxtapose of also women to women kind of contradiction. So for me, it's just like, you're right, Robin. Like, and then what? So I asked myself, okay, are people going to people? Some people are on pension. Who's that lady who was the city speaker? Kind of was I even
More
made
Jen Mashas.
I can't even pronounce the name as is. But yes, so you look at that person and that woman, and it's a woman, it's a black woman, and then it's like, being also nonchalant and on pension, she has nothing to lose. She has nothing to lose. If you think about it, they can't fire her. She's fired. They can't penalize her to pay the money back. She can't. Those kind of people don't go to jail.
Mhm.
Well, what kind of people are those kind of people that don't go to jail?
Non-touchable.
Because
But this is what
everybody is
Robin is saying.
supposed to go to
What's
jail.
gonna
When you steal, you must go to jail.
But that's what Robin is saying right now.
Sure.
What's going to happen? The question is, what's going to happen? And of course, for me, it's like, and then what, Nomi? Because, and I can tell you the way the politics play themselves out is because we know somebody's going to be thrown under the bus. And that's what
Yes.
I've been following it.
Nice.
I've been listening to it. Like, this one blames this one. And then this one who's caught in between is trying to fabricate and like even to like for the since yesterday, listening to what's the just like what's that
Yeah.
is chat. Yeah, like it's like, no, that's not what the word people have argued about a phrase, what a word phrase means, what immediately means, what with immediate effect means. So that's how much
Yes.
we've gotten ourselves into, because then it's like, no, me. When I said enter the stage and hold the mic, um, when I say enter, I wasn't saying enter and hold the mic and sing. I just said enter.
Enter.
And Robin's like, yeah,
Yes.
but why did you enter? Stand on the next, like in front of the mic and not sing. And you're like, no, you will be like, no, but they said I must enter and go to the mic. And so now all of us are arguing about entering, being on
Why you
stage.
didn't sing on the microphone when you're booked to sing?
Exactly.
How about you?
But that's the thing. But now we are
What do you
saying,
mean? What do you mean
you're
you
like,
didn't?
exactly.
You
You're like,
didn't
no,
even
Robin,
tell when you're in front of the mic. You were in front of the mic.
yeah,
There
you're in
was
front of the
audience
mic,
in
you're on
front of
stage.
you.
And I'm like,
Yeah?
but no, I'm like, no, you did. The people are like, no, you didn't sing. And you're like, yeah, but I wasn't told to sing. And I'm like, but I said you must enter. And then the crew
Yes.
members placed the mic center stage, and Robin did play, and cue the band or give a like, a backtrack or sound, whatever. I mean, that's your language. And then, but you didn't sing. And when you are saying, no, Napo said I must just enter. Napo didn't say it's
Well,
your time to perform.
well, all of that is nonsense. And what I did not like about Kulu, our minister, was he gives me the sense of those people that think they're better because they can speak English. And I don't like that. You must think
That's so
you're better
true.
because you can speak English, because he was very dismissive at the beginning. But he didn't have the
Sure.
experience. He was in this job not even for a year and he's canceling departments. That's very bold. That's a very, very poor
Like,
management.
as well. But if you check, everybody who comes on their first day when they're given the platform, they are cocky, they are arrogant, they feel like they don't owe anybody an
Mm.
explanation. They're putting this armor, and then
Even.
which is a conversation. The second day it starts. kind of like, oh, I'm not actually in control. By the third day, when you thinking you are done, the commissioner is like, no, we are continuing, we are cross questioning you, and then we are using your statement, your words, your reporting, your this. Then that's when you realize, oh my god, I don't have my shit together. So you're right. People get there so cocky and so and for some reason, because Brown Hosi was his English was escaping him, for lack of better words.
Yes.
Everybody else who's coming through has been trying to prove, especially the guilty ones, that I can speak English, I can speak the language, I know the phrases, I know the terms. But I can tell you, there's also people like who's that? From iPad. That's my favorite. I know Magagula. Magagula makes English to speak his mother tongue. And I can tell you, and because he stands by truth and he's principled, he has no reason to lie. He's chilled, he's relaxed. He is testifying. He's talking about his experiences. He tells you why it is taking long for certain cases to be closed. But also, you get a sense of why this whole department needed to be shut down. So there's been so many things, man. Just so many things. I've
Listen,
seen people cry. I've seen women cry because they're scared for their life. And I know how that feels like when you have to look over your shoulder because you've been threatened. Because you are not
and
what.
and the truth of the matter is that a lot of people right now are dodging bullets, and it's not okay in our country. That's where we're at now. We've reached the end of the podcast. The song is dropping tomorrow. The song is dropping tomorrow. Robin
So
and
many
I.
more questions to ask.
The song is dropping
But that's why I
tomorrow.
believe that music is power in protest as well, because we have to kind of also create and encourage and nurture culture. So we are kind of shaping and building the community as well. So we play a really important role in all of this as well, just to create awareness and to spread it out further, I believe. So there's power in music. Yeah.
There
Amen.
is
Thanks,
absolutely.
Nomisupasta.
And Popo, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your beautiful poetry. When can anybody see you?
My friends, I'm Googleable. I'm on different socials. Google me, Napo Mashia, Napo Popo Mashia. And I love it. When you say Popo, it means you know me. So Nomi knows me. But I'm everywhere on social media, TikTok, Twitter, well, hardly X. Well, now old school Twitter. But IG, Facebook, TikTok, I'm there. And every week on TikTok, I'm doing Napo Mashiani's blues, talking about just the industry, the blues for the week, but in context within the performing arts space of theater landscape. So yeah, I'm there.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank you,
through.
my friend. Thank you so much, Robin.
That was Robin Fassi and Napo Mashiane. They are amazing. And Napo Mashiane is an incredible poet. And I wanted her to be here because we really learn and listen to each other. And the wordsmithery of the woman is just amazing. And please do check her out. If you love the way I write, you will love Napo's work. And in addition to that, Robin Fassi, you can catch him at Sankofa Fest on the 28th of February. At Sankofa Fest, 28th of February. I think tickets are totally sold out, but you can also get him at the Cape Town International Jazz Festival. He's playing with Nduduzo Makatini. And so please do make sure to catch Robin. Of course, This Is What You Like is dropping tomorrow. You can go on your streaming platform today because I do like to make sure that my people get it first. So go check it out. It might be available for you to download, but definitely tomorrow. It was so wonderful doing this six-part podcast series, taking you into my songwriting environment. Who are the songwriters and the writers that I like? What goes into the music? Brought on Robin Fassi, a feature of a live instrument, of a musician that has the focus of Robin Fassi on that instrument. Artists that really play music, like they have fun, and they explore sounds, and you hear instruments make sounds you never expected. And that is what is on What You Like, which is out. So make sure you get it. And then, of course, it's produced by PH Raw X. It's the last single coming out before my album Surrender drops on the 26th of April at the Soweto Theatre. Tickets are available now from sowetotheatre.com. See you on a flippity flip.
How are you?